They outside the marketplace of where the black community is. And I'm the only preacher in the town that gave Farrakhan the key to his church, gave the Hebrew Israelites the key to the church, and the nationalists, when I can catch them, to come on back to the church. And I think it's all we got. And I just think we have a responsibility to take care of our own.
Even if I were to try to disagree with the Rev, is there room for me to disagree with him? Huh? There's no room for me to disagree with the Rev. But what the Rev does not know, and I should make him know that, and I am glad that he expressed what he expressed this evening to me and to us all. Because what he said, everything he said, was 100% true. In my journey, I have been hurt so many times by preachers. I mean, hurt to the extent that guns were drawn on me by preachers. Believe me, I would not make a statement of such magnitude if it was not true. Preachers have done me some things. I did not rule the church out because I too agree that the church is the foundation of our society. It was in the church that everything started with us. It's in the church. It is in the church. I grew up in the church. My mom is a preacher. My brother was a preacher. I just didn't go. Not because I didn't love the church, but having experienced 18 years of dejection, 18 years of vicious assault on my being from preachers. How do you think I feel? You're the first one. You are the first one that have stood up and made such statement. I could take you all the way back from Curacao, Aruba. I could take it to St. Martin. I could take it to Los Angeles, to Washington, D.C., and New York. And every preacher that I have come in contact with have done some things that you don't want to know. Some of them were bishops. I mean, I have proof in Washington. I have hundreds of people who saw this act in which a bishop brought a man that was a Muslim to kill me with a gun, only because I did not do one of the lowest things that you ask of a human being to do. I did not do that. But I want you to know, sir, that this evening I'm indebted to you. And I will always be indebted to you. Because now you came here this evening shedding light in an area that there was nothing but darkness for me. Yes, my journey of healing is one that I appreciate, one that I feel contented with, but I also felt that it was the duty of the church. Why you think I was the one that pursued the preachers? But I never had anyone to say the thing that you said this evening, or to make me feel the warmth inside of me the way I feel towards you. I never had that. I have never had that. And I have a mother that is living, and she will tell you that. And I appreciate this.
Let me try to point out to you that I've been hurt by preachers. And I worked with Martin Luther King. They didn't accept him in this town, preachers. And I've been hurt by black women, and I've probably hurt black women. But I don't stop loving black women.
No, I understand.
In my pain. Nor do I stop loving preachers.
That's right, neither do I.
I'm going to say it one more time. There are a new group of preachers who have been called by God but been rejected by the church, but got a church. You could come to my church on Sunday morning and run a bowling ball through it because I don't have a lot of folk in my church. But ain't too much goes on in this town that I'm not a part of it and change the course of history with my little church. And I was the only man that Martin King ordained. He only ordained 3 men. The other 2 were assistant pastors at his daddy's church. I'm the only one alive. The fact of the matter is, it ain't the church that called you. It was God that called you.
That was my mistake.
And once you are clear that God called you, you ain't gonna get no hand any better than his only son, who the whole church lynched him. And his name was Jesus. And they lynched him, hung him on a cross. So I want, the next time you come in town, I want to publicly give you the keys to the church, because you don't need to receive the pain by yourself, nor do you need to be shuffled off into the nationalist market where they think they got some monopoly on how to get liberated.
That is true.
When the fact of the matter is, they got to come to the church to hold a meeting of liberation.
That is true.
And I argue, come anytime you want. I got a kitchen. You can make all your preparations. I got a gymnasium. I've got classrooms. You can do whatever you want because it's righteous. And you might make the difference in our people's behavior, especially in a town like Chicago, when you come up with the kind of formulas and the kind of prophetic understandings you have from the motherland and from the Caribbean. Thanks for the time.
You know, what the Rev did for us this evening is more than I did for you. Yes. Because he was able to identify the area that because Dorothea, Sister Dorothea, wanted me to give this thing in the church. I told her no. Not because I dislike the church, but my experience. I said no. I didn't want to suffer that anymore. I mean, you could only take so many bruises, you know. Especially us men, you know, I'm weak. I cry very easily. I'm very sensitive. I don't like people to pinch me too hard. When you have done to me for 12, it's been 18 years, been 20 years, 20 plus years, Rev. But I have been pushing this with my wife, and really it is my wife. My wife is the one. She's the one that really is the backbone of this thing. My wife. And I watched her suffer. Myself was arrested because we claim that we cure AIDS and sickle cell. We do. We do. I was arrested. When I was arrested in New York, there were people that was healed by us who wished that I went to jail. When I won the case, you didn't hear about it. I'm glad that you're here, Rev, because nobody heard about it. They heard when I made the announcement that we cure AIDS, and that they heard the announcement that we was called charlatans. But when we won, proving that we cured the diseases, you didn't hear about it. You know what was on the agenda then? Tawana brought a sex life. You see? Look at where we at. And I'm not blaming the church or the preacher for those that eat chicken, like my brother. My brother died. I tried to reach him. I tried to show him that God is the answer. But he was not partaking in God's substance. But he could not see that. I think I felt inside my own brother. When I came here this evening to give a speech to you guys, and to cleanse out of you the things that I felt needed to be cleansed out, and to put into you the thing that you needed. But the one that was cleansed out was me.
You asked for that earlier, remember?
You see?
Right.
Now the healer has received healing this evening from a reverend that he was backing on.